Yesterday, you know, Rich and Judy gave you the, tea picked by monkeys.
Yeah.
I told you about that, either last week or the week before.
Yeah, and then you also told me that there's a place where they grow coffee, where the weasels come out and eat the coffee, right? But they have too much of it, gets you through and vomit, and they sell the vomit because it makes the coffee smoother.
Weasel vomit?
Yeah. Absolute shiz.
It's not.
Right.
When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
Whereas the way you'd say it...
Yeah.
No,
why do they keep taking the coffee? Probably addicted to it.
You get addicted to it, don't you? Caffeine and that.
Yeah. Why do they stick it up then? Do they have too much?
They're tired, they can't sleep, they sort of...
They can't sleep.
So they get ill, it eventually wears them down, they're sick, and then they sell it.
I showed those there's people send monkey news all the time for Carl, and I showed him one earlier, which said there's a new monkey hospital that's been opened.
Yeah. Carl,
now, that's for the treatment of monkeys, right?
But he immediately thought it was run by monkeys in white coat. Did he really?
Yes, and he was disappointed because it wasn't. He was assuming there'd be little janitors, is that what you said? Yeah, little janitors mopping up.
Carl!
Little chimps with the ECG machines or whatever they're called.
Clear!
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
He was almost angry.
Yeah.
Disappointed with it.
And what's this about Donna Eyre giving her baby to a gorilla for a week?
It happened.
No, it didn't happen.
She had a baby, they went on the honeymoon, they left it to a little gorilla to look after.
Don't talk! Don't talk! Oh,
Again,
Carl!
there's people online now, so they can have a look at Anna Nova. Do you want to give some stuff away? Do some,
He believes it, and that's it! But the more these things sort of like pop up come true, the more worrying it is. The more worrying it is for everyone. Imagine if Donna Eyre had left her baby to a gorilla. It's it's libelous, you saying that. It's libelous.
It's not, well, someone will send it in a bit, and then you'll feel daft again. So I'm not even worrying about it.
Okay.
Right, you've got some rubbish to give away, did you say?
Yeah, we've got some stuff to give away, DVDs, stuff like that.
Well, let's play a record, let's do the
Any VHSs? Any films on VHS?
Yeah, a couple of them in there.
For $4.99?
Yeah.
Supergrass.
Yeah, excellent. What is the competition, incidentally?
Doing songs of phrase.
Oh. Supergrass, late in the day on XFM 104.9. There's too much to get through here, Rick.
Go on.
There's too many things we've got to systematically
Am I going to eat my words?
Well, before that, you know, we get emails all the time, they're coming through all the way through the show, and I open them, and a lot of them, because, you know, everyone's contributing, it's brilliant, but we can't really absorb everything, there's too much coming through. So I tend to open them quickly, I have a look, see if there's anything we can sort of make sense of, and close them again. Sometimes Carl looks at the emails as I'm opening them. One opened just a minute ago. You saw his face?
His face, yeah, what was it?
His face was just stunned. He was just absolutely dumbfounded. It was like he'd just seen something extraordinary, right?
And you closed it quickly?
I did close it quickly. I'll tell you why, right? Always got to bear in mind how Carl's mind works. All he saw was the name of the band that this email was promoting. So all Carl saw, and you can imagine how excited he was all he saw was half man, half biscuit. That's all he saw.
I've never seen anyone so excited! Oh, God!
It was actually just plugging the popular joke novelty band.
Haven't you heard of them, then?
No.
Imagine how excited he was.
That is fantastic. Man, half biscuit! Brilliant! Mr. Garibaldi! Oh, half man, half biscuit. That is genius. Oh, amazing.
I just saw it, and when you closed it again...
Yeah, but the thing is, if he hadn't have told you that, and he'd have erased it, next week you'd be saying, about what they've done in Scientists, they've cloned a man with a biscuit. He's got currants for eyes.
Never go swimming.
What?
Never go swimming.
Anyway, just to, I don't know what the world's coming to, but, someone sent us a link to, one of the web news pages.
Go on.
The headline, Donna Eyre to hand her baby over to a gorilla.
Well, it's not. It's not gonna be what he thinks.
Listen. Donna Eyre and her zoo owner boyfriend, Damien Aspinall, intend to place their baby daughter in the care of a gorilla. The couple plan to put Freya, who was born in September, in the gorilla enclosure at the zoo near Canterbury. They will then let her be carried off by the female of the group. Neither parent has any qualms about letting their daughter be taken off, despite 5 keepers being killed by animals at Howlett's and his sister's park since 1980.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, that's it. That's the
It's a newborn baby, and they're going to put it in a gorilla. But I mean,
Well, he said, why would I not trust them? I know them. I grew up with them. They're my friends.
yeah, but I'm not saying that they're aggressive, but it might roll over on it or something.
I don't know. Take it up with with them. I mean, Donna Ayre's not the brightest spark in the box.
No, but
and
I
it
don't
would seem
think
her husband is.
I don't think that would she'd endanger. I mean, they must know something we don't. I still can't believe they're just going to leave the gorilla with it.
Did me
Why
no
would
harm.
you though? But why would you? Even if it says, well, it's
Cheaper than a babysitter?
Well, I don't know. Well, how cheap is a gorilla babysitter? Carl knows, because there's probably some sort of organisation.
Right, are we,
Competition then. Come on then. What is it? Oh.
songs of phrase?
Remind us of this?
We got the film one coming up later as well.
Oh.
But songs of phrase is the one where I take a popular phrase from the show.
Well, no, it's not a popular phrase from the show. It's sometimes something you said once. There's this airy Chinese kid.
Yeah. And I get all different bits of songs, so, you know, I make up that sentence, and you have to email in with the artist that you hear.
Right, what's the popular phrase then? What's this popular phrase that's sweeping the nation?
It's what we talked about last week.
Go
on. My girlfriend had a problem with a marrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright?
Okay. She wasn't your girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, but I couldn't find sort of
No, okay.
blind date or whatever. So, seven artists it's taken to make up this
Me
songs of phrase.
girlfriend had a problem with her marrow. Well, that's at least 8, so...
Well, maybe
I
not.
think I've managed it in 7. Anyway, here we go.
Oh,
What the
yeah,
artists?
yeah,
We'll look
yeah,
at the names
the
of the
artists,
artists.
yeah.
Get a
What-
pen and paper, make a note.
What artists are you hearing here?
With her Very good.
Oh, okay.
Alright,
What's
so,
more?
So, what are the artists?
With her Very
My
good.
girlfriend had a problem with her marrow. We want the names of the artists. What can we win, Carl?
Just can I just recap that story? Girl can't run a blind date. But when he found out that this girl had some sort of bone marrow problem, he said he didn't want to see her anymore. What's the point in getting to know someone that's going to die?
Yeah.
So that's what you're dealing with. That is what you're dealing with Carl Pilkington.
Would you buy a car with a Duff engine?
It's a fair point. Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
Don't steal our son. The Thrills on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Over there, Carl Pilkington. The man who believes anything. I think it might be a condition due to his little round head. It's sort of like, it might be a new condition that we can call cranial sphericity. And because it presses on his lobes, and the only sort of upshot of that is he's normal everywhere, but he believes everything he reads or
Yeah.
sees on Anna Nova. Alright?
Talking of which, Rick, I don't really follow the news.
No.
It's mainly boring, isn't it? Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, it is a war. It's all this nonsense before and after. When it's a war, it's, it's in the middle of the war. You can watch it on telly.
True.
You get results.
True,
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a test match or something. But it's all this rubbish before and after. It drags on.
This recent war seemed, I thought, just generally, it was better presented than the previous one. Because I remember
Well,
the first Gulf War, it was often during the night, and I
Disappointing.
couldn't stay up.
Yeah,
and stuff.
because I think the American had rights to it, like the Tyson fight, so we had to get it at 2 in the morning,
Exactly.
which is annoying. They had it at, their prime time and that.
Yeah,
And a lot of it
yeah.
was in black and white, as when
A
the
lot of it
bombs
was
went
black
in.
and white with the bombs going in.
So,
This
no,
time
but
there seemed to be a lot more colourful stuff.
yeah, it's much better coverage. I think there should have been awards
Yeah, well, I'd like
for
to see
it.
awards,
So,
yeah.
like Channel 4 one for cricket.
Yeah, I mean, a few times as well, I was quite pleased to see they actually had footage of the bombs exploding.
Yeah.
and buildings and stuff.
Yeah. No, good. Well done.
Generally,
Good on you. Well done. Good on you.
Yeah, I don't know if
Costs a lot though, doesn't it?
it isn't a costly
War's
thing.
a lot more. When you got something like, a Jimmy Carr game show, which probably costs about £100.
Yeah.
Like, half an hour war costs
know.
millions,
It's almost
man.
as expensive as like Terminator 3 or something.
Yeah. But I mean,
But then,
you got a variety.
Exactly.
Sorry, Steve, you're talking, mate.
Well, no, I just wanted to make sure you were aware that the World Elephant Polo Championships have taken place.
I did get it. I
You're
think
aware
they
of
mentioned it on. Yeah, we won, didn't we?
England won.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, where have they been practicing?
I don't know.
Do you remember ever at school anyone ever saying to you, "Are you interested in playing polo
Do you,
with
reckon
elephants?
do you reckon it was 5 blokes in pith helmets kept sneaking into a whipsnade?
Possibly.
What are you doing, lads? We're practicing. Get down.
Yeah.
Get off them elephants.
Yeah. I genuinely, I didn't even know we had a team. I can't
Elephant-
believe it.
no,
But it's like Johnny Wilkinson and the rugby lads, they're gonna get MBEs, all sorts. The elephant boys, the elephant polo boys, nothing.
They're gonna get nothing.
I haven't seen the
But
sun
you know,
talking like
to be
them.
fair, it's not like horse polo where I don't think there's a stick long enough. I think the elephants kick it, don't they?
I think you might be right. I think they're not allowed to use their tusks.
They burst it, won't they?
I think that's-
They go, oh,
Start again.
Raheem!
Yeah.
What do you mean the elephants kick it?
Alright, I've opened a can of worms here. You know, normal polo on a horse, they have like,
Yeah, stick and
mallets.
that.
yeah, they whack 'em, right? But I think it's, obviously they're too high up. I think, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they just train the elephant to kick it.
So
it's like-
why are people something about? Why not just let them have a kick about without...
Imagine that! And why does horse racing have to have a jockey? Well, they just let the horses go, oh, yeah, okay, lads, on your, no cheating, on your marks, get set, go. You know, get back here. Get back here. Brilliant. Why do you think? I'll tell you what. Now, I'm gonna be like a teacher now. Why do you think?
You sort of get mixed up which end they sort of go in. Which end they've got to get the ball in.
Sort of. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you sort of steer an elephant, as it were? How do you ride an elephant? It seems quite a complicated procedure. I don't imagine they're quite as versatile as a horse.
No, you can't sort of like pull it and its head goes,
No.
can you?
I mean, I don't really know how you... I mean, you'd have to have a huge playing surface, wouldn't you? I mean, these are big creatures.
Yeah. They use Kent.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. They drop 2 big, huge jumpers.
yeah.
Either side. One in south of Kent, one in North Kent.
Exactly.
And it takes days.
And is
days.
there like 11 on each team?
Yeah, and one on the subs bench.
Exactly.
And it keeps breaking. The bench is broken.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He's living because he's never getting chosen.
He's never getting chosen. Yeah. When he doesn't turn up to training.
Of course, and he's never going to forget.
He's down the lake.
Exactly.
Down at the lake when they should be training, eating too many buns. When I was about 13 to 14, I once tried to improve the animal kingdom by making the hardest animal ever, the most perfect animal.
Now, just to clarify, you didn't, in sort of Frankenstein style,
No.
try and bolt various bits of animals together.
It was a drawing that I sent to Blue Peter. There was no competition going on.
You just thought they would be appreciative.
I thought
of it.
they'd look at that and they'd go, well, he's a genius.
Yeah.
This is like Da Vinci.
Sure.
And this is the animal. This is what I thought, the perfect animal. I mean, when I say perfect, I meant the hardest animal. This
Right.
animal, it could take anything. It was just the strongest, hardest, fastest, right?
Yeah.
So, I started with the head of a lion.
Of course, that makes
Do you know what I mean?
perfect sense.
Roar, it looks good. Roar, bite you, right? Okay. I popped that on the body of a rhinoceros.
Okay, so it's got the toughness, the armour, if you like.
It's full strength. Head of a lion. Think of that. So you've got this picture. Head of a lion, body of a rhino.
Perfect.
Okay? Hold on, though. Pop some arms on it. The front arms were the arms of a gorilla.
The arms of a gorilla.
So it
okay.
could punch, grip, it could make stuff. The lion, I mean, that's where the lion falls down, because it can't make stuff.
Sure.
It can't climb, you know. So, okay then, wait a minute. You think that's got enough weaponry?
Sounds like it.
No. Pop on the tail of a giant scorpion.
A giant scorpion.
Yeah, yeah.
So a
the
scorpion that's the
so
size
it's
of a rhinoceros.
exactly. So the tail was as long as that rhino. So now
Right.
this is a scary animal,
Yeah.
and this is where the animal fell down. I thought, right, legs. Well, the fastest animal is the cheetah.
Cheetah.
Popped on 4 cheetah legs.
4 cheetah legs.
It would have collapsed.
Crushed under
It
the
would have
weight of the
collapsed
rhinoceros.
immediately. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you drew this, did you?
drew it, yeah.
Did you show it to anyone
Yeah,
other
my
than the-
mates went, that's brilliant.
Right.
They said, that's brilliant.
And then just sent straight to Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Any reply?
No reply at all.
Really?
No reply at all.
Surprised.
What do you think of that, Carl? If you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal, what would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, you know, like that.
I don't
But
think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do?
Ah.
Cockroach.
No, I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right? Okay.
I'd have head of an owl.
Right?
The head of an owl.
Yeah, why, come on, why, what does that bring to the table?
the head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the
make it look
human
friendly.
race. So
Okay.
because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works,
Yeah,
isn't it? With
okay.
a cat and a dog and all that. So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have. I wouldn't have legs. I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you mean? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with the head of an owl.
Slithering along. How
Yeah.
is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the slug.
No, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with a going hoo, right? You come over, you kick the head off. How is this
No,
a
because the head
survival?
can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. Into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that. It just curls up into a
No,
ball.
this isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's oh, go
Why
on
has
then.
it got the slug? Why is that
Because
so
what
attractive?
I'm thinking is an armadillo. They're good when they're on their feet. Flip them, they get stuck like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why
lock
not have a
to stuff.
limpet then?
But it can't get any. How it can barely move. It can
Just
hardly
go and
get
just go
anywhere.
and kick it.
What do
Just
you mean
this.
it can't get
Well, how
anywhere?
can it escape from danger? It's going to move very
rubbish.
slowly.
No, 'cause
What, that's the
it'll
worst
lock itself
animal.
in. It'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up on the
You
sand.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I'd give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why has it got peacock feathers?
Again, it's just
It's
just
the worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's
do,
what
what,
peacock
that's the
feathers do.
least threatening thing, peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's
Yeah.
nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans.
Yeah.
But the humans won't be harming it because they like the owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce. They eat Why has it got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what it's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yes,
Let it eat lettuce. It moves that and let it eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, like when you went out to empty your bin, he was one of them sliding up the wall. You wouldn't even double take. You'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feather thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even expanding
got
its limitations.
problems.
Well,
No,
it's
got
mainly
problems.
made as to be on walls. Because what else is living on walls?
Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. What a useless animal that is. Carl, I mean.
Well, nature chucks up odd things, doesn't it?
Don't. Why are we starting on this again?
No, I'm just saying that is nature. Now and again, you'll get stuff that.
Oh, was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Look at his fucking head. Look at his stupid round fucking orangey head and oh.
Why aren't you a freak? You've got a little bald head. We're not meant to be bald.
Well, I was. I think that's the thing. That's what nature's done. You see, I didn't do anything with my hair when I had hair. I didn't style it. I didn't do anything with it, and it probably thought, "What am I doing here?" Whereas people who love their hair and they comb it and have different styles and look after it, they have hair for ages.
Nonsense.
No, nonsense.
Gobbledygook.
Absolute nonsense.
Well, you're saying that.
Absolute nonsense.
Well, it's a little bit weird, then, isn't it? And that's what happens with old people once they lose their, will to live. Once they lose the job, they get old. What's my purpose? What am I doing here? And it's like nature goes, you're not needed, and they die. Maybe that's what happened with the dodo. What's it doing? Can't fly. Its wings are useless. Eat it. Tastes horrible. Kill it.
No, they did eat
Nature.
it. I think they did eat
Yeah,
it.
but it wasn't very nice, was it?
I think they over-farmed it. I think that's why it was extinct. Because they did eat it.
No, but they did eat it, but they didn't like it. Everybody, you never saw like a fully eaten carcass of a dodo.
You're
It
making
would be
this up
half
again.
eaten.
All conjecture.
No, but they didn't eat it all. Everybody would probably try it and go, it's not for me, that.
But you don't know
No
this.
idea,
You
you're
don't
just
know
making it
this.
up.
What's this based on?
I've
That
just-
people... And also, why would that kid it out?
Because I'll tell you why. Because if it's not nice, people don't get another one in. And they die out. The reason we've got loads of chickens and loads of cows is because we eat them. If we ate polar bears, we wouldn't be short of them. Because you'd farm it, you'd take more care, but what's a polar bear doing? Sat on a block of ice floating about. It's no use to us, is it? It sounds harsh.
Once
it's
again,
no
got
use.
his information from a Glacier Mint
No,
advert.
but it's no use to us. we know they're there, and it's all very sad when you see them on the news sort of struggling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them stronger.
I saw this trailer for this documentary that said the man who's having a baby. And I turned on, and it's a woman going through a sex change, and she's pregnant. That's not a man having a baby. That's a woman having a beard.
Having a breakdown.
Why is that? That's a con. That is pure sense. It's a man having a baby. Look, the world's first. No, it's a woman. It's a woman. What do you think of that? What would you do for your doctor? And I came to you and went, Carl, listen, I'm having a bit of a rethink of these. The penis, I hate it. I hate this cock.
But what do you mean you hate it?
I hate it. I don't want it there. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It just sits there resting on these fucking awful testicles that I'm going to get rid of. I want this thrown away.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, they're not a great look. I know that. Everyone knows that. It's just the way they are. I mean, if we're all being honest, they're an odd design. I don't think anyone likes their own, do they? That's why we cover them. They're not a great thing, are they?
What? It's not why we cover them, though, is it?
It's part of it, I think. I think deep down, I mean, even if, like, I know you hate the Adam and Eve thing, but even if back then he was like, good God, cover them up. Even he had a leaf on.
No, but listen. Right. So, are you thinking fundamentally, then, that aesthetically, the testicles and the penis isn't as good as it could be? What would you have there instead?
Well, it's designed that way because that's the way it's got to be designed. It's more about function than
Yeah.
and that's the thing, isn't it? With modern technology,
The thing is, the testicles have to be outside because they have to be a few degrees below body temperature.
yeah.
Otherwise, the Sertoli cells die, which sort of feed the semen and all that. So, they, to be functioning and sort of like fertile, they have to be outside, which is annoying because I'd put a little rib cage around them, like that. I'd pop a rib cage round those, protect them, wear a cricket box, have that built in, so you cannot get a swift kick in the bollocks that makes you feel sick.
But it'd be better if they could sort of reverse up in a way that they were hidden away,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that they were just. Then you dropped them. It's like, right, we need to cool them down. Be at it in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Zzz, drop them down.
Yeah, like the gear on an aeroplane, landing gear. Yeah, and landing gear down, and the bollocks and the cooling down. Or you could just pop them in the fridge for 10 minutes.
It's
Well,
like
they
a-
could detach and you could pop them in the fridge. Cool
Yeah.
it down.
Can you make me some breasts?
easy.
Okay. Go on, you say easy. What are you going to do? What's your plan?
Just how do you do that? It's tablets, isn't it?
No, but
Testosterone, isn't it?
Testosterone.
Toblerone. I want some Toblerone.
Well, sort of pointy tits, like Madonna.
Landed, Mr. Ben Folds. We've landed on XM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and little Karl Pilkington, and his magical little manky, round, baldy head. He was described as wacky mank in one of the papers this week.
Really? Brilliant.
Well, remember we were talking about it last week about he came round to my house and I popped out my Mr. Johnson for him to take a little look at.
And his two
That made the
daughters.
papers. That made the papers.
Wow. What paper? It wasn't front page of the Times. It must have been like the Daily Star or something.
Just squeeze Live 8 in
Yeah,
the second,
yeah.
on the second page. Yeah, so wacky mank.
Wacky Mank. That's
Wacky
great.
Mank.
Wacky Mank.
We had an
Oh,
email
God.
from someone that reckons they remember you from body popping round Salford way.
Yeah, Eccles Precinct apparently.
You know that, don't you?
I wasn't doing it round there though.
Well, what do you mean?
I was round Stretford. Stretford Arndale.
And what were you doing? What sort of body popping was it?
A bit of everything. Caterpillar. Bit of moonwalking.
Do you have a little piece of line you used to carry around?
Well, mates had that.
Right, you didn't
Borrowed
bother.
theirs. Borrowed theirs.
Were you really good? But you weren't breakdancing, well, you weren't spinning on your head and stuff, you were more body popping.
Well, I hope he wasn't speaking on his head, because you know that can sort of give you little brain damage and things.
It can give you brain damage. Also, it can wear your head down, and also makes your head perfectly round.
Yeah.
Because the gravity is pulling on
But
all
if you keep on doing it, obviously it's going to wear your hair.
hair out, yeah. So you become sort of like a... Stupid, bald, and roundy-headed.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta be very
I very much doubt that you did do any of that. Did you, Carl?
Didn't do any of that.
Well...
So you're shooting off in a minute, aren't you?
Well, yes, because we were trying to make poverty history, Carl.
Yeah.
People are making poverty history all over the place. They're putting on a wristband, and it seems to be working because I haven't been poor for ages.
I haven't been poor.
And Alex had a stop bullying.
Alex was wearing a stop bullying wristband, and as he himself said, he seems to have sorted that out.
You haven't been bullied
I
for
haven't been
ages.
bullied for years.
So wristbands work.
I saw one in a shop window the other day which said stop child abuse, and I bought one obviously because a lot of people say, you know, does it make a difference? But it was only £1, and I'd only spent it on kiddie porn. So, you know, I think I've made a little difference there, in a small way.
On a serious note, though, I like the idea that stop child abuse. You're a paedophile, and you're walking along the street in your Mac, right? You got a puppy in one hand, a bag of sweets in the other, and you see this wristband, and you go, "Oh, stop it." Oh, okay then.
Yeah, I
right.
thought before. That's what I think.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, I won't be doing that
Yeah,
again.
he was hanging around in Topshop for unsavoury reasons. He saw them in there for only £1.
Carl, we haven't got long, have we? We've got an hour and a half because we've got to shoot off. I've got to shoot off down to Live 8 and introduce Rem. So we've got a lot to pack in. We've got the Rockbusters, and then we give away. I just saw those. I'll finish the sentence in a minute.
I look forward to it.
I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. So we've got so much to pack in. I haven't got time to finish all my. So listen, right? Do you know the things we're giving away? The signed little Homer, the Nigel Tufnell thing, and the Flanimals, right? It looks brilliant. They've done a brilliant job, the people here at XFM. So take back all you were saying about them, Carl.
And also, we should say as well, you've still got a chance to win that, because if you get today's Rockbusters, you go straight into the hat for the big draw, so you've still got a chance to win all those top prizes.
Play a record.
Bit of Monkeys.
Yeah. Monkeys. Pleasant Valley Sunday. Alright, do you like that, Carl?
It's alright, yeah. What's it about?
Well, if you heard, it was a sort of description of, you know, typical suburbia, isn't it?
Here in status symbol land.
You know, it's a sly dig.
When the monkeys get a bee in their bonnet about something, you better not.
You do not want to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a good song with a story later.
Go on, what have we got?
Don't want to tell you yet.
Alright.
Now, is it as pitiful as last week's, where you somehow misheard that Eric Clapton song? What was the Eric Clapton song?
Well, Wonderful Tonight, and he was convinced it was about a bloke in a wheelchair for no reason. No evidence at all. Other than she's walking around with me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, walking around with me. No.
I walk into a room and everyone's head turns to look at her, which you didn't seem to
Helps
hear.
him to bed.
Is he drunk? He's had a few.
Never mind.
Yeah, well, you're totally wrong.
Big day, Carl, though, isn't it? Because you know, there's lots going on, and I know Carl's it's very important for him that he champions Live 8.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what. I am sick of it, to be honest.
Sick of what?
Just sick of reading about it. Sick of this Live 8 thing. Sick of it all.
Brilliant.
Fed up with it.
What annoys you
Fed up with it.
particularly?
It's not only that today, though, is it? On the way in today, right? Saw a gay fella on a
Is that
bike.
weird?
On a bike, rushing. What time did the gay march start? What time did it have to be?
Why are you looking at me? I don't know.
No, but he was rushing, left it late, so he'd had a late night again. So my point's right about him.
What was your point about, just to people who just tuned in?
Well, the fact that they go out late, so, you know, they sort of have a nice night out from about 11:30. They're lying in the jeans at like 10:30.
In their jeans!
Half-10.
They're leather trousers.
But anyway, right, so
They're cutting the back out of their leather trousers about 10:30 at night.
I'm on the way in, right, and I see one stressed out, rushing, right, on a racer, wearing high heels.
Oh, I love you. He's 50's dad, isn't he? He's angry. He's just angry.
If you're a gay fella and you're proud to be gay, but you also want to make poverty history, you don't know what to do today, do you? You're all racing all over the place. Must be murder. It seems a bit unfortunate that they've put them on the same day.
Yeah. Well, you
But
can get little leather studded wristbands that say make poverty history.
Yeah.
So you know, you can join in on both
You could
parts.
kill two birds at one stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why is Live 8 stressing you out? It's for a good cause. You must have, you know, I know we've discussed this in the past, and you don't really know what you're talking about. But
I mean, maybe that's the problem. I'm just, I don't know. I mean, I could have told them ages ago that there was no way that they were going to pay it back. I knew that was going to happen.
I love that. But they didn't consult you, did they? When they were handing out this money willy-nilly to people who were dying, you could have had a quiet word with them.
All I'm saying is,
you
when
could
I
have said to Harold Wilson, Harold, you're not going to get this back, mate. You are not going to get this back,
Obvious.
mate.
When I wanted a mortgage, I had to supply 3 wage slips, is what I'm saying. I was double checked out loads of times.
I'd like to see, have you ever seen that guy Alvin Hall, who gives financial advice to perhaps teenagers who don't know how to spend their money wisely?
Alright.
Perhaps like send him over there. He's the guy with the bow tie.
Oh, yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
I'd send him over there and just sort of have a chat with him and say, make a list of what you're spending it on.
So he's basically, will you be annoyed if they drop all debt and double aid and everything?
No, because I mean, you know, people sometimes need help and that, don't they? You've got to help people out, but
Yeah.
it's how many times is the thing. You know what I mean? Let them off. But do I, you know, I've got this monthly payment at the moment, haven't I?
Yeah.
I'm paying for tools for people out there who need a drill to build a house or whatever.
Yeah.
Am I now in my right to say, well, you can't have it all? Do you want the drill, or do you want the debt cancelled? This is what I'm saying. I'm just, you know, I'm all happy to help people out.
Do you think they're taking us for a mug? Is that what you think you won't be taking?
We'll see, won't we? Time will tell, won't we? I mean, if next year at the same time, Geldof's putting on another gig, I'll go, what's going on now?
Geldof putting on another gig! And the mean fiddler! What's going on now?
I think you're missing out on the true meaning of today, Carl, which is an opportunity to see Keane for free. I think that's the problem.
I don't want to go. I don't like crowds and that, do I?
Right.
Can't be dealing with that. Don't like big crowds. People, because I was talking to people at work about it, and they were saying, oh, you know, it's a big occasion, it's one of them events, like, you've got to be down there, because in years to come, when they say, you know, were you there, I don't see what's good about having a memory being stuck in a crowd of 150,000 people. I prefer to do something nice, say if I have like a nice cake and a cup of tea, right? In years to come, when they go, do you remember that day when we were all cramped and what have you? I'll go, no, I was on a nice cake and a cup of tea. So I've got a nicer memory than them. So I believe in doing something nice on a big occasion, do you know what I mean, on a special day. Do something nice, remember that.
The thing is, you have got a nicer memory than them, because when you look back and they say what you're doing 20 years ago, your memory will tell you you were actually having a cup of tea and a cake, but with a chimpanzee who could talk English. That's what your memory will tell you. You go, oh, I was out with my mate, I was out with my mate Marty, he's a chimp. And it just, you'll be in cuckoo land by the time you're 50. You'll be just, going, oh, it was great that day, remember? Suzanne, I don't know what I'm talking to Suzanne, she's left you. She's left you, she's had enough of you waking up.
Well, she's down in Hyde Park watching Bed-Shaped live. She's not worried about cake and a cup of tea.
Have you ever done a march or anything though? Have you ever sort of...
What are you saying?
Have you, you know, you're having a go at me for not getting behind it all, right? Which I am, because I've got more standing orders going out my account for charities than anything, right? But have you ever got behind you know, a problem?
No.
I don't think I have, to be fair, no. No, I am quite slack in that respect. It does take a lot of effort though, doesn't it?
Well, it depends. What sort?
Well, you know, if you're going to do one of those walks from John O'Groats to Land's End or something, that's a lot of time commitment.
There's one, I tell you what, there is one that looks alright. On, Portland Place, just off Oxford Street, there's always, just a little Chinese fella sat on the pavement, right?
Oh, I've seen him, yeah.
What's that all about?
Yeah.
He's just sat there with a poster, but you don't know what it's for, because it's in Chinese.
Yeah.
So he's just always sat there. But that's for me, that's the sort of march I want, where you just, and he's only there when it's sunny. If it's raining, they don't bother.
I tell a lie, I did pop down when all those women walked through London in their bras.
I'll tell you what is interesting, Steve.
What?
I didn't know that much about it. Autism.
Okay. Oh, good. It's just some more entertaining stuff on XFM 104.9.
No.
Just to cheer up people. Go on, and what? Come on.
No, right. Have you heard about it, Steve? What
Autism?
It scares me to death when he comes up, when he touches on a serious subject. We've been talking about wheeling a dead pope round, the Chinese don't age well, and ginger people are hated, and now we're going to touch on a really, I mean,
no, I said
my heart's in my throat. Go on, Carl, then tell me your insights to autism.
Right, well, there's this, again, Channel 4 coming up with some good stuff at the moment, right? It might have been Channel 5. But what's the name?
It's the attention span that I like!
It's these people who, they've got like this autism thing going on.
Yeah.
And, they sort of take in a lot of information, they get sort of they get so into it that they know everything about that subject and what have you, right? And there was this lad who, he knew everything, right, about EastEnders.
Right.
He sort of, the cameraman was saying to him, so, you know, why EastEnders and that? And he said, oh, I don't know, I just like it. And he said, I remember when I first watched it was a Thursday, it was 5 to 8, Pauline Fowler walked in, she had a pink jumper on, she said, alright love, and he remembers everything from that moment on.
Yeah.
Right, and everything. Which is great, but then, the way the programme was making out, it was almost like they were saying it's a disability.
Right.
When in a way, it's more like a superpower.
Sure. Like Rain Man.
Well, if you can take
It's Rain Man.
No, I'm
he
not.
has special autistic powers.
Oh God!
We must send for Rain Man.
I don't know what to do.
So
I don't know what to do.
so he would be a great
there's
contestant
other
on Mastermind.
things.
So a autistic
Sorry.
mastermind. He'd
Well,
be
what I'm
dynamite.
saying is, don't be watching EastEnders though. Sort of, why didn't they give him an encyclopedia and say, get into that?
Sure.
That'll be useful.
Yeah.
Keep him away from EastEnders. Wasting his time there. But I don't think it is a disability.
No.
Yeah, there are other things, and they're not. It's also autism is a matter of degrees. From what I know, and I'm sorry to have to do this, but I feel that I have to at least be the voice of reason, as ill-educated as I am on the subject. But I think there's degrees of autism. I think some are higher performance than others. There's other issues with it. It's not they're just got good memories. They don't go around doing tricks for people because they can remember stuff. There are other issues with it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they seemed a bit...
You watched the programme, what did you learn? That he knows when Pauline Fowler came in?
Yeah, I mean, there was other bits where they couldn't control her emotions and stuff.
Oh,
But-
that other little bit, yeah.
But the main bit of it was he can soak up information and stuff, and I'm just saying, it didn't seem really bad. Do you know what I mean? There's disabilities where people say that's a bad disability. It's
Go
like
on.
how people say about,
This is
I don't
brilliant,
know.
this is just like, this is amazing to be in the room with this man. It's incredible. You just wind him up and listen to what comes out. And I'm gonna sit back now. I'm not gonna defend you or explain anything. Just go on and tell me about the other disabilities that are worse.
No, what I mean is, how people can sometimes easily get mixed up. How people are scared of, like, a cyclop. When at the end of the day, he's got a disability. A bloke with
Who's scared of a cyclop?
No, it's
apart
just
from
that's-
Jason and his Argonauts. Where's this cyclop that you're scared of?
No, I'm just saying in history and in books and that.
No, not in history. History happened.
Yeah. But
What are you thinking of? You're mixing history with Greek mythology and Roman mythology and every other type of mythology. What do you mean there wasn't really a giant cyclop that went round picking up ships and throwing them around? That's not history, Carl. Do you think Batman's history?
No, but this was it was ages ago, wasn't it? When we were sort of forming.
No, I'm not saying it didn't happen ages ago. I'm saying it didn't happen.
Well, he might have done. There's no. I mean, what's so ridiculous about a fellow with one eye?
In the middle of his head, and he's big and scary and lives in a
Why is he
cave.
scary? Because he's got. What if he had 8 eyes? I'd be scared of him. At the end of the day, he's got a disability. Oh, we'll talk about it in a bit. But one of the things that they told us was that Planet of the Apes was filmed in Lanzarote.
Right. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
A bit of it. Well, does it? Does
Well,
it make sense?
Well, what do you
Alright,
mean,
well maybe
does
it was, maybe it wasn't. Okay, anyway.
No, I mean, if they wanted to show sort of an barren, sort of post-apocalyptic sort of subject, choose where you went on holiday.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, but when we were there, well, he took us to this sort of beach, and I said, "Is this where they did it?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "What? Right there, yeah." And I watched it, and I couldn't see where I was.
Yeah, you know that if you watch a film from 1968 and you've been to the same
No,
place,
the
you're
new
not
one.
going to feature.
The
They're
new
not
one.
going to see you in the back walking along the beach.
It's a new one, new Planet of the Apes.
Oh, the recent Planet of the Apes,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what they said. Yeah.
Right.
Right. So I thought I'd sort of.
Now
do
that sounds a little bit more far-fetched. I'd have thought that was probably a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
anyway, is this the current Planet of the Apes or the old one you've done?
Current Planet of the Apes.
This is the recent one.
All right. There'll be a question at the end of it, so listen on that.
Is this entertaining to anyone, this? I mean, just take the last 4 minutes of conversation.
But seriously, Rick, who cares?
I don't.
Do you?
No.
I don't.
DVD's selling well.
Exactly, what do I care?
Right, go on then.
All right. So Planet of the Apes. Question at the end of it. Listen and win some stuff. All right.
Hey, where am I? What is this place? Hang on a minute, I'll have a look. According to the Lanzarote guide, we've been dropped off at the volcano bit. Apparently there's 36 volcanoes here to be seen.
I hope you don't mind my saying, but this is a waste of time.
What do you mean? Don't know why they need 36 volcanoes. Just keep one. Fill the rest in. Like a car park or something.
Excuse me, guide. What's why's the bus drops us off here? What's so special about this place?
Well, according to our holy writings, that is where creation began, where the Almighty breathed life in the time before time.
Well, it's amazing, that, isn't it? All this has been stood here for years and years. What about the coffee shop there? Is that old, is it? Well, nothing. You're out to rip us off. I bet it's about £4 for a coffee there. Always ripping people off. That's what annoys me with these trips. You get us in the middle of nowhere, we die in a thirst. I'm not able to do without. The reason I've come here, I believe this is where they did Planet of the Apes, innit? Love monkeys. Especially the ones in Planet of the Apes, because they talk and that.
Talking monkeys can't exist.
You're joking, aren't you? Of course they can. Getting up to all sorts of stuff. I read about a monkey the other day who worked on the railway. Right? There was another one about a chimp that did a bank job and went off to Spain to sort of...
Shut up!
Alright.
What is that?
Little monkey fella. It's come from that little coffee shop. It's been serving coffee. Now that is worth paying £4 for.
No, you're teasing him.
I'm not teasing it. It's working, isn't it? It's serving the... We want some coffee. Get us some coffee. I've heard about this. You can buy coffee that's been sort of hand-picked by monkeys. It's like Coffee Mate, except it's more sort of coffee primate. Yeah. Hello, little fella. We want coffee.
What do you mean, we?
You're gonna have a coffee, aren't you? What else are you gonna do? Go and look at another 35 volcanoes? I'm staying here. I'm having a monkey coffee. It's brilliant.
You find this amusing?
Jesus, it's a talking monkey. Right, mate. Have a couple of coffees.
Don't start now. We're off duty. I'm starved.
What do you mean you're off duty? Have you bananas later? Just get us a couple of... Alright, I understand that you're tired and you've probably been on your hands all day. Just forget the coffee. You go and get some lunch. After you've got some coach, you lazy ass.
You damn human!
Powerful.
Lovely. Excellent.
It's like you don't see. It got me thinking about things you don't see, and you don't see.
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see like an old man having a Twix. You never.
Oh!
So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right. You don't see an old man eating a Twix. That's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right? They've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with burgers.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
No, listen now. So they've got their Werthers, right?
Yeah.
So,
look at him. You think he's giving a lecture at Oxford?
It's not going anywhere.
No, go on. Sorry. Go on.
I'm just saying.
Right.
You grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't look right, so he's having...
It doesn't look right.
So...
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, I have a Werther's original.
No, I think it cuts though before he throws it back in his face and goes, get me a Twix. And a damn curly-whirly, Grandad, you old fool.
I phoned Carl up in the week, yeah, and I said, what are you doing? He went, well, even though it's one of my days off, I'm just doing some research on the web. Found anything that said, yeah, I'm doing science. And then he said, you can get wigs for dogs in Tokyo. That's his scientific fact. And I went, what do you mean, dogs, if they need a wig? I said, if they need a wig, what, dogs going bald? And he went, like, this is fine to him, he went, it's a stressful city, Tokyo. The world's alright with Carl. He's always got an explanation. I've only ever seen him confused once. When, in Edinburgh, he looked out of his window one day and he saw a bloke putting a parking ticket on some rubbish.
Yeah.
And that genuinely confused him.
Yeah.
He couldn't work out, could you?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
And the woman breastfeeding her 8-year-old child. You didn't like, did you?
I don't like that. But, the what's the name? Animals with wigs. I kind of thought, after I put the phone down to you, I kind of thought about it, thought, yeah, it was a bit daft, that.
Are you sure it's not the ageing pop group?
No.
The Animals?
But when you think, have you ever seen, like, a bald pet?
No.
It's weird.
What do you mean?
Because my mum, we had a cat, we used to get through loads of cats because we lived there.
Oh God, it started early today, isn't it?
What do you mean?
It's only 10 past one.
What are you doing? Running a restaurant?
We lived on.
Oh God, what do you mean?
No, we lived on like a main road.
Oh yeah.
Right? So we used to get through a lot of them. My dad kept saying, you know, stop wasting money. You know, it's not.
Stop wasting money, not wasting cats.
Right. So anyway, we had this cat that was ill all the time. And
it's just bag of news, probably.
Yeah, malingerer. Yeah, I'm terrified.
I'm going to which house?
Rome. Oh God, bloody hell. Rome.
Don't let me go to the Pilkingtons.
And for some reason, it kept being sick all the time. Right?
Yeah, that is nerves. That's definitely nerves.
So my mum kind of thought, oh, I've had enough of this, and she shaved it.
What? Whoa! Whoa! Now I know you're not vets in your family, but what correlation did your mum think there was between you being sick and shaving it?
Because it kept being sick, and it was a pain to wash because it kept getting.
So
caught
she
up.
wanted a dry wipe cat.
So
why didn't you just varnish it? What?
It's weird. It's weird. Though.
So now he's cold and sick.
No, but I mean, not all of it. She left sort of the back half, but sort of from its waist, sort of.
I love that shaving because it's sick on itself.
And it was the weirdest looking thing. I mean, normally I like cats. I'm always like giving yours a stroke on the head and that.
Yeah.
But as soon as she did that, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Can't touch it. And then.
So now it's sick, cold, and hated.
Yeah.
Carl.
It must have, I mean, the other cats must have been taking the mick out of it constantly. It's just making things worse. Did it get, I'm hoping that it got run over and was put out of its misery.
No, I think it got alright, that one. Or is that the... Yeah, it did get run over. It did.
Oh, God.
Right, what are we going for then? Hanging the bacon, airy Chinese kid, alien gives man a beard.
I think Alien gives man a beard.
I'd like to do that.
Right, there's this fella, I think it happened in America, and he saw a bright light in the sky. And,
God, if you're bored.
and he stood there.
This is a true story, is it?
Yeah. He stood there,
Yes, of course it isn't, Steve.
and he saw this bright light, and it came closer and closer, and it was a UFO, right?
Yep.
And he looked at it, and it disappeared, right? And he gets back in his car,
He looks in the mirror.
and he looks in the mirror.
Yep.
He's only got a beard.
He has.
You sure it wasn't someone else who got in the car? And he was still standing out there?
No, right?
What?
And it turned out,
Yeah.
he got home and said to his wife or his girlfriend, it's a bit weird. So I just got out of the car to look at a bright light, and I got back in the car and grew a beard, and she said, never mind your beard, where have you been for 3 days? And what had happened is...
He passed out because he was pissed.
No. The UFO had taken him for 3 days.
Yeah.
But he'd only thought that he'd only looked at it and it went away.
Yeah.
But what had happened is, he took him, and he grew a beard because he hasn't had a shave.
Right, okay. I mean, was Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones anything to do with this at all? Did you see this on a video maybe and thought it was an educational film?
No, it's from a book that some kind person sent in to me. Here.
Can I just ask again, just again, I'm just throwing this right back at you. Do you think there's any other possible answer here? Right? A man is absent for 3 days from home.
He's grown a
length
beard.
of time that it could take to grow a beard, lest we forget. What if he hadn't actually seen a bright light in the sky?
What if he was lying? What if he was lying?
He'd got knocked unconscious, he'd had a car crash.
Just
any
lying.
number of other
No,
things.
just lying.
Or he was just lying.
Yeah, he'd been on a bender, getting pissed for 3 days
and that
with
was
his
his
mates.
excuse to his wife.
And they went, Dennis, what are you gonna tell your wife?
Well, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
She's not going to believe I was out with you, lads.
Just say you're only away for a minute. No, I wasn't away from it because of the beard. Oh yeah, look, it looks like you've been out for 3 days. Well, we have, that's...
Exactly.
Right, okay, we've got to cover that then. Alien abduction.
Great one.
Okay, let's try that.
Do you see? That's a little scenario there that could have been played out.
So, when you say educating Ricky, what have I learnt from this? Never listen to you again. That's all I've learnt so far. Never listen to you.
Yeah, we'll add a little bit more in here, right? To
Well,
spice this
no,
up.
what do you mean add a little bit more?
We'll add a bit more to this, what I'm educating you about.
Go on.
Right? There's only a law in America that says if you touch a UFO, you're gonna get done. Now, why would they make a rule? I don't know that, do you know, like, all their rules have a code?
Carl, I genuinely do not know what you're talking about.
Right, do you know, like, how here they might have...
Do you know
I
what?
have no idea.
Right,
Okay.
do you know, like, over here?
I'm listening to Capital on these headphones. I got Foxy on from yesterday.
Okay, what's the next one? What's the educating
Well,
wiki?
I don't know, see, like I say, I was looking around and there's stuff that is interesting, right? I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about,
What's the point?
about a lad who, 8 years old, but he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of that.
Is that what his mum said?
So,
What do you mean I don't know if I can get anything out of that? You don't need to.
No, it's just that, you know...
Where did you read that?
That was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It's just it was on the internet.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confuse a computer. And then,
Carl, you are...
no, I did,
No, honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and it came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that? Why is that? And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, you know, on his mum's nipple, and it was saying, you know, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y to confuse the computer. Like, the computer going, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Oh, look, yeah. Last week, I was walking, home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week. Let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, no. I went, why not? He went, well, it'd be confusing, because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
You do that, don't you?
No, but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and, you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm
A
just...
title for the story?
No, it's just what would you do? Right.
What do you mean, what would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area, right?
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid
Well,
who's
no,
breastfeeding
right,
at 8.
Imagine it like this, right?
Right. No, so, Carl, what are you asking me? About this spurious story you saw on the
I
internet?
saw it on the internet, there's an
Yeah.
8-year-old lad, he likes his mum's milk,
Yeah.
and it's saying, is this right? Should it
No,
be
it's
going
not.
on?
But what
What do you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right, you know,
No.
I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So,
God.
what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it,
Yeah.
and he, you know, so what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws, I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what
Yeah.
would you say, if you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? what are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the
I'm
public?
just saying, say if you live next door to this woman,
Yeah.
right, the kid's hungry, 8 years old, he's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish, and he goes, alright son. She whops one out, and he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out, and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it, because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I see.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Carl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, alright then, put it in a bowl first. What was that illness years ago? Right, there was a couple of lads at our school
Oh yeah.
had really big heads
Right.
and webbed fingers.
And webbed fingers.
And
Sorry, wait. Was that? Hold on. Did you find him in a pond? Did they used to be little tadpoles?
no,
Carl, you're not
seriously.
confusing your past with an old episode of
No,
Doctor
no.
Who, are you?
What were they called? These two?
Oh, I didn't mix with them.
Right.
It was just like. Of
course not.
There was nobody thought anything of it at school. 'Cause
No,
it was like,
sure.
You used to it. So-
Yeah, it's the north.
There goes the creature from the Black Lagoon again.
yeah. He's late.
Brilliant at trigonometry.
He's late for double maths.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think anything of
What
it.
is it called? What is the disease called where two fellas, are they
Not even related.
rubbish?
Not related.
Were you near a nuclear power station when you were growing up?
Yeah,
You weren't really?
yeah.
God, this explains so much.
This has got
But
a
I
bit
don't
heavy.
think that's it.
Hey, talking of enormous heads,
Yeah.
you were at the Pop Idol final, weren't you, Rick? You went
Yeah.
down there just because obviously Rick's a huge fan of Pop Idol. He wanted to be there. He wanted to
Yeah.
give his support.
Quite seriously, there was no irony there. We were
Yeah, he
having
genuinely
great
is a
time.
fan of it. And he was. You sort of had photos taken with various people.
Yeah,
didn't
of
you? 'Cause
course.
you were a bit drunk and you wanted to have a
Yeah.
memento of it. And it's obviously
Yeah.
a picture of you with Fat Man Rick Waller.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the best one is a picture of Ricky and his girlfriend with Dr. Fox.
Yeah.
Whose head
It's twice the size of mine.
any other head. It's quite remarkable. I
He's
don't know how
like
they
a
make
barrel.
it.
He's a lovely bloke, and it was really nice to meet him and everything. But he looks like an immaculate tan, and he's always happy, and he's
It
just
looks
really
on the
good.
picture. It looks like someone you might see in a carnival who's built a huge papier-mâché head, and they just were like Frank Sidebottom and just started walking down the road. It's just incredible.
Dr. Fox didn't used to go to your school, did he? He used to hang around with a mate. They were great swimmers. They were brilliant swimmers. Oh, God. Tried not to leave early last week, but, you stay to the end this week, mate, or?
Yeah.
You don't need another holiday.
Oh, he started already.
I mean, you
Steve's
know,
made you look like a bit of a twat already, and it's
No.
only 1:05.
But the only reason you don't go on holiday is because you have to spend money.
Oh, and he's gone straight back!
Well-
He's gone straight back!
I can't come back to that.
Oh,
it's just dynamite. It's just absolute. That was
Although the
searing
last
cut to
holiday,
the chase.
last holiday Steve had, he sort of found a third world country so he could live like a king for a week. It was Cuba, wasn't it?
Going to Cuba, amazing. We can almost rule the place. If it weren't for Castro, I'd have been in charge. Kind of cash I was flashing around. They do anything for $1 over there. It's extraordinary, literally. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
Definitely. And I went to Kenya before that.
So he thought to the prostitute said no. You were going.
Yeah, well, it was $2. I mean, I'm not made of money.
Did you have a good holiday, Carl?
Yeah, it was alright. It's alright. Went down to Cornwall.
Now
Tell you
you're
what,
going to the monkey
some odd
sanctuary.
people down there, Steve.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not from Cornwall.
Well, you're from that sort of area.
Well, not really, but never mind.
Genetically, he means.
Right.
They're weird.
Well, you must have slotted right in.
Why are they weird? What do they look like?
It's all sort of odd people. A lot of old people, but not just old, sort of messed up old.
What do you mean messed up old? You can't just say that. There's.
There was a woman with a funny neck.
Okay, in what way was it funny?
Why did she have a funny neck? If you're writing an essay, you wouldn't say there was this woman with a funny neck. How would you describe it?
She sort of had her head like pointed down all the time. Like that.
Don't do it. It's his radio.
No, but just for you, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Walking about,
Yeah, okay, right. So, brilliant.
I don't know. I was saying to Suzanne, what happened, you know. What do you think?
Because Suzanne knows everything. That's the good thing about her being with you. You just ask her, what happened to her? And Suzanne goes, Carl, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been here before.
Suzanne, your girlfriend, or mummy as you call her.
Oh, sparks are flying.
I got a little bit of chocolate. Can you just lick a tissue and wipe it off?
Oh,
Well, she said it might have been like, because back in the olden days they carried stuff on the...
the olden
What
days.
do you mean the olden days?
This woman was probably what, 50?
No, she looked about 70.
Yeah.
But like I do on Cheeky Freak of the Week, right? I always turn it round and we get like something good out
Something
of it.
positive, yeah.
I said to Suzanne, I bet she finds a lot of money.
Always staring at the ground, yeah.
Oh, how did baguettes come about? If this is going to be someone cooked a loaf a bit wrong and said, I can still make a sandwich out of it, I'm going to hit you.
No.
Go on then.
Right. Napoleon, when he was at war and that with Russia,
1812, yeah.
yeah, all his soldiers were like, you know, not used to the cold weather and that. So they said, take some clothes in your bag with you because it's going to be
Chilly.
nippy out there. So they put all the clothes in the bag.
Sure.
Do what they were told.
Oh.
It's Napoleon, for Christ's sake.
No room for any food.
You're joking.
So
Couldn't they make some sort of like sandwich?
No, it wouldn't fit because of all the clothes. You had to take extra gear.
Sure.
So, anyway, he
I
said,
can see where
know.
this is going. I'll be honest.
Is there a baguette-shaped gap left in their holdall?
They thought, let's make some bread that you can fit down your trouser leg.
What?
That's not true! No, it's not, Carl!
I read it in Euston train station. I was waiting to go back to Manchester.
Where did you read
What,
these?
scrawled on the wall in graffiti?
Yeah.
Do you know the
Was it also meet me here for Cockfun at 12 o'clock?
The upper crust sandwich shop, Euston station. It's on the wall.
What do you mean it's on the wall?
Do you know how it says, like, sail on at Dixon's, whatever?
Yeah.
Next to that, there was, like, a bit of information. Once you've read the stuff on Dixon's...
Baguette information.
There was a big thing about the history of the baguette. I read it and I thought,
No, we gotta make a sandwich we can spit down our trouser leg.
But how can you march and fight with a huge piece of bread down your train?
Although it would be intimidating. You see them coming, you go, sacre bleu, look at the size of them. They're big fellas. Well,
Blimey. I can't help but feel that could be a practical joke at your expense.
yeah.
didn't do that.
Well, the Earl of
Do you ever
Sandwich...
question anything you read? If it's printed up, is that,
Yeah.
like, fact for you then?
Well, it's not funny. I mean, if they were trying to be funny, it's like... it's not, is it? So it's information.
Have you heard us? Things sometimes want to be funny when they're not.
That's exactly what happened with the sandwich. The Earl of Sandwich wanted something he could fit down his pants. And it was those triangle cut sandwiches wrapped in cling film were perfect. You might be right. You might be right.
I am.
Because the Cornish pasty, so they could drop it down the mines, isn't it?
Is it?
They wrapped it up they wrapped up like meat and vegetables in pastry, and they sort of crimped it, and it was like a little, and they dropped it down the mine, so, yeah, that's how that came about.
And bagels were originally made so that people could play hoopla, but then eat afterwards. I don't know if you're aware of that. That is true, Carl.
Well, anyway.
Call my bluff. Is one true?
Yeah.
They're all true.
They're all true.
Yeah.
Tell your kids that when you have them.
Yeah.
You know, if they're still alive in a million years.
Well, it might be true. Can someone confirm that baguette fact that it was so Napoleon could stick it down
Not him.
his trousers? Not him, his soldiers.
His men.
Yeah.
Fascinating information. Fascinating bread information, Carl.
Well, we've had lots of emails. People, obviously, we inflamed and provoked
Well,
about
actually, I have to say,
the
Rick-
Cornish pasty. I've got a couple of amendments to that. The crusty bit, you know, is actually as a handle, because obviously the miners had dirty hands, and they'd eat all the stuff in the pasty, and they'd be left with this sort of crust, and they could throw that away. Also, someone told us that at one end was a apple, so you have a little sweet as well.
Little dessert.
So there you go.
You noticed how, like, over the years we've been doing this, you know, way back when we started XFM, no one ever contributes when we ask about the music, when
No.
we ask about hip-hop,
No.
or their, you know, opinions on that,
No.
anything important.
No.
But start talking about pasties,
Yeah.
we've had about 5 phone calls.
Yeah, and someone phoned up to confirm. They used to work for Upper Crust, and basically Carl got all excited. So it is true. She went, well, I don't know if it's true. I've read the same sign you did, Carl.
Interestingly, there's an email here that says, which basically offers a history of the baguette,
Yeah.
and talks about after the revolution, the government decreed that all of France must eat the same bread, and it was up to the bakers to bake this bread of equality. And then Napoleon kind of made sure it was a particular, he kind of set in
Yeah, obviously on the bread you can eat anything you find in the garden: frogs, snails, bits of horse,
But
squid.
the interesting thing is, Rick, that there's no mention of sticking it down your trousers whilst going to war.
The French have tried to keep that secret for over 100
It
years,
was only
Steve.
the upper crust people.
Yeah, nearly 200 years, that is a top secret. Somehow Euston Station Upper Crust got hold of a document, left behind in an old sea chest, possibly Napoleon's, could have been Josephine's. Unfortunately, jotted it down. He's kicking himself now. Oh, I cannot believe I left a note. If he talked like that.
He did.
He did that, yeah, he talked English, but in a very funny French accent.